So, there were a few requests this week, and there were a few questions. We had a request for some light, you notice the difference, and there were also requests that I should speak a little bit louder, so maybe you should actually hear what I'm saying. As well, I had a question last week. They said, Rabbi, I'm not a rabbi, but they said, Rabbi, said, you counted last week from 50, 49, 48, but we don't actually count to 50. And I'm like, and I'm going to cut that. And we don't actually count to 50. Like, what do you mean? 48, 49, 50. I can count just fine to that. It means there's something we can't count. Can't count means there are things involved behind that counting. It's not just numbers. There's actually a daily lesson that we're working on and actually trying to be accountable for. So when we're actually reaching the 50th level, it's an insight to the fact that we do nothing here in this world by ourselves. Everything we do, we're being supported by someone. There was another question. It says, okay, moving away from being animalistic. Well, Rabbi, what does that mean? Yeah, when I eat dinner, I eat the night before. I just don't eat with my hands, most of us. And as well, that's a nice clothes. I mean, even though it's called a monkey suit, doesn't make me a monkey, Rabbi. So I'm suggesting that being animalistic means being selfish. Doing things simply because the right thing, opposite of being animalistic. That is where we're going towards. Like, being nice to people, we don't really I know. I like everyone, you like everyone, but for me, I might get a chance to learn to like people and actually be nice to people he doesn't even like. Another question that's not so Torah-based is my name. So my Hebrew name is not the same as my English name. My English name and welcome to this week's Parsha with me, Aaron Benjamin. I'd like to tell you a story, and this is my story stool, that I heard by a great Rabbi Hanaf, who told a story about another great Rabbi, Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. And the story is to understand a certain pasuk from this week's Parsha, this week's Torah portion called Behar. And there's a mitzvah this week of Loi Sirda Boy Befarech. Do not subjugate him through hard labor. It's speaking about servants. And the story goes that with a bit of background about Shlomo Zalman, he was known for particularly not liking, you could say being allergic to, honor. He did not like to be honored. So his nephew sent him four questions, and like the rabbi he is, got back to him right away. And the nephew signed the letter the way you might imagine. He says, "Thank you, my rabbi, my teacher, the enlightened one, the kindness, the straightness, the justice, the everything that." And you might imagine he didn't like that. He wrote back a letter answering him, and at the end of the letter he said that it's ze lo yafeh ma'od, ze lo yafeh ma'od. This is really not nice. So the nephew has to see his uncle, and he said, "I got your letter. Thank you very much for answering my questions, but I didn't understand what you meant that this is really not nice." And he says, "Well, the honor, I didn't appreciate it, because you know how I am." And the nephew didn't understand. He asked him, "So what's the difference between not nice and really not nice?" He says, "Not nice is, that I don't appreciate it, all the extra labels." And he says, "Well, what's really not nice?" He says, "The fact you put on the outside of the envelope." He said, "Here's a mailman working hard enough as it is, and before he can even get to my name, he has to run through the teacher." So you might be asking me, do you read about Rabbi Shlomo's book and you become so sensitive I should think twice about what I write in the outside of an envelope of a letter? Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. I'm saying it's possible. I'm saying whether maybe you're a writer, especially in a special time and sphere, and we could look into anything and everything, simple things that will in fact. Thank you for this week's. I've been your host, Benjamin.